Madam President, Mr. Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen.
Can you please listen to your colleague?
To understand the role of Germany, one needs to start with the basic question. What sort of political system is the European Union? And I submit it is a combination of an oligarchy and a tyranny of the majority. The Parliament functions, of course, as the tyranny of the majority, and the Commission is a typically oligarchic institution, unelected, with limited democratic legitimacy, and having an unquestionable lust for power. And as far as I could understand you, Mr. Chancellor, you want this body to have even more power. But the pillars of European oligarchy are the big guys among the member states. And the biggest is, of course, Germany. The big guys do what they want, never bother to consult anyone, and call it leadership. And with the voting system in the Council securing their interest, there is little chance they could be outvoted. Of many sins that the German governments have committed, let me mention two. The migration crisis, when Germany single-handedly opened the EU borders, and recently the energy and security crisis, which resulted from its having a long and murky tradition, political romance with Russia. Today, the German politicians beat their breasts and promise to be good boys in the future. Well, the problem with the big guys is they can promise anything, and repentance as easy for them as it is inconsequential. When I heard that the best option would be the gradual abolition of the veto and the abolition of the veto in foreign policy, I simply cannot believe my ears. The Russian policy was the most spectacular disaster of the EU's big guys. And those who are most responsible for this want to have more power in foreign policy. The logic behind it boggles the mind. The more we screw up, the more power we want. The logic would be the reverse. Because you screw up so much, you should be kept in check for as long as possible. Chancellor Scholz, I do not have any illusions about Germany mending its ways. You are too big, you are too hubristic. Especially lately, I read your statement, and I heard something like this today also, about Germany taking responsibility for the EU, just a matter of interest. If you could satisfy my intellectual curiosity, where can one read about German responsibility for the EU in the treaties? The only proper thing for the German governments would be to take the back benches and, as political hygiene requires, let others run the show.
Mr. Legutko,
you tried,
thank you very much.
You failed, you should withdraw. Unless, Mr. Chancellor, you and your colleagues in the European oligarchy believe that German leaders, like diamonds, are forever.
I give the floor next to Mr. Gunnar Beck.